Good afternoon. This is Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. I'm here this afternoon on day 2 of my fabulous February fun folds, where we're going to be making some cards every day this week. So this afternoon after the video, I will post the measurements and everything that you need to have ready for tomorrow's class, like I did for this class yesterday. So if you're here, I would love it if you would comment and let me know that you're watching. And we're going to make these 2 cards today. I'm just being sure that I look pretty straight today, which doesn't happen very often. But I think I am. So this card is made with a sheet of 6x6 paper, and it's a great way where you can show the whole scene, or all the elements on a 6x6 page. Kind of like yesterday's, how you could see it all. Today is another way, because I just don't like when I have to pick which part of the beautiful scene am I going to cut out for the front. That this way you can see it all. So this was the 6x6. This is the Fruit Salad Celebration DSP, which is available until next Friday, February the 28th. And then Celebration will be over. So for every $60 you spend, you get to pick from some free items on the Celebration list. And we have the Celebration brochure, but they added some new online free Celebration items, so you can go on and check those out. And then we kind of just decorated, I just decorated it with a tag. This one is using the Storybook Friends, or Storybook Memories, and this is the DSP. And see how you get to see a lot of the scene from the DSP. This is 12x12 paper, so it's cut just a little bit different. Then you have your inside here where you can write a note. I put my ribbon for this one on the inside because this ribbon, I love the color and everything of boho blue for the ribbon, but it's kind of thick and wide to make a bow with. So instead I put it in here on the inside. And this is one of the punch outs that comes with the DSP. And these are the tag. Well, that's a tag, but it's the dies that come with the storybook. So I'm going to push these up here. And we'll start out with the 12x12 card. So yesterday I posted a picture and I said you needed to have, I'm going to get my measurements out so that I know exactly I'm saying the right thing. And I said that you would cut a piece of cardstock at 5.5 by 4 1/4. So there we go. I picked boho blue for this next card. And then I said you needed a piece of DSP, which is our pattern paper, at 7 1/4 by 5.5, scored at 3. So here that piece is. I have this Gone Fishing DSP left over, and I thought I need some masculine birthday cards and things, so I was going to try it out to use up some of this paper. So this is 7 1/4 by 5.5, and I scored it at 3. So I'm going to take my bone folder and go ahead and crease that very good. Then the next thing I said that you had to cut out was a strip of coordinating. Sorry, I'll get mixed up over there. Of coordinating cardstock, which then I picked Misty Moonlight because that's the other color that's shown in this paper, and that would have been cut at 3/4 by 5.5. This I saved, cut off here when I cut a 1/4 off to maybe decorate the inside or to do something with. I haven't decided. So that's just an extra piece. Then the other thing I said you had to cut was piece that's going to go on the inside too by 5.5. So let's get, and then I said, you know, you need your label, your greeting, some embellishments, maybe some ribbons, some Wink of Stella, all the fun things to do with a card. So let's get started here. We're first going to take our DSP, and I'm just using the green glue, and this bottle is almost gone, so I was for sure to get a new bottle before I sat down. You know, okay, we're going to say this bottle is gone. I knew it was getting very close. Now it's just going to come out so fast when I change to this new bottle. I'm going to move these kind of up here so I can move this up higher so you can see. Okay, so I'm going to lay this piece right on here, and it's going to be the exact same size as this boho blue piece. You're not going to see any of the cardstock from the front of the card. So there we go. The next step we're going to do is we're going to take this strip, and on this card, if you notice, I put the strip kind of on the outside of the DSP, but on this one I kind of put it behind, so you can decide which way you'd like to do it, to kind of have a border here or have your strip more on top of the fold. So this time I'm going to put it again underneath because I think that will look best. So I'm just going to put a line of glue just half on the one side. And I saw this very cool hint that I'm going to show you. When you have something that's, you want to be just the same, you know, you want this to go all the way from the top all the way to the bottom. So we're going to take the card, the DSP, and we're going to push it right up here to the top of the cutter, and then we're going to take this piece and we're going to lay it on here, and we want some of it to be over the edge and some of it to be on the paper. And then you can take this and then you can push it right up there so that it's right at the top. It gives you something to kind of push on to be sure that it's exactly at the top. And then if you have any left over, like, oh, I maybe have, it's not even enough really to cut off, but I should. It looks like a 1/16 of an inch. Let me get my scissors. I just thought that was a good hint I saw the other day. And I'm going to say that I probably saw that on Terry Gaines' video. I watched 2 different videos the other day when I was making these, when I was first making these cards. Okay, so now there we go. We have that all nice and even, top to bottom. Now to speed this a little bit along today, I went ahead and already did my stamping. So this is my label. I used the designer tags dies, and I cut out this happy birthday. So now I'm gonna just glue on this portion, not over this way, because I do not want to close my card forever. So I'm gonna take a Post-it note, and I'm gonna lay it right up here, right along this Misty Moonlight paper. Now I know that I can glue all back this way. It just helps me to remember. And so I'm going to again line this up like I had it. Take off my post-it note. And there we go. Now when I first did this card yesterday, when I was trying to tie bows and everything, it was just not going good. So I went ahead and tied a bow for this one. But then I thought, I don't really think a bow goes with fishing. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do with it. And I'm kind of lost now since I've already glued it down. So I think I'm just going to leave a bow off this card. I could take it and just tie it around the inside and make a knot. But I want to have enough room to stamp and write on here. And if I want to put a strip of this, see, would have to go up and down because, oh, I have them swimming upside down. Because I couldn't cut it this way, they'd all be swimming down to the bottom of the card. And if I add this, it's really going to take up a lot of the writing room on your inside piece. So that would be entirely up to, now this is 3/4 of an inch. So if you wanted to, you could cut it down some, but then you're going to lose a lot of the fish. So sometimes I think I have an idea for cards, and then I decide after I start, oh, that's not going to work. So I will just save this piece for a different card, save the bow for a different card. It's just that this ribbon matched so good with these colors, but that's okay. So next we're going to take our inside piece, and I'm not going to glue it down until after if I want to stamp something on it or write a message, because that way if I make a mistake, I could still flip it over. But when I do decide to put it down on the inside, I can again use the cutter as like a wall, push my cardstock right up to it, then push my top right up to it and even it out down, and then that way for sure you know you're all the way to the top. Okay, so one last thing is some embellishments. So what I have here is I joined this thing through Christine Bertram that she does for demonstrators called, like, for the winter, it's the Winter Creative Retreat. And we get a sample of all the elements or all the embellishments that are in the spring mini. So I just kind of have a sample here. So I'm going to use these. These are online only, and they're called Riverside Irregular Pearls. Yep, that's what they're called. Because I kind of thought that the color went good with the color that we're using on this card. And there we go. See, this one was fast and easy because I didn't have to run around to find my tag dies or which tag dies I want to use, what color ink I want to use. So I thought that would just go faster today. So let's move on to the second card, which is made with the 6x6 paper. So for this one, I put the directions yesterday, and they said cut a piece of cardstock again at 5.5 by 4 1/4, just like we did for this one. And then we're going to take our 6x6 piece of Designer Series paper, and we're going to make it so that it is 5.5 inches from the top to the bottom. When you have a design that goes one way, you want to be sure that you cut it the right way. So up and down 5.5, and then we scored it at 3, and then we cut it at 3.5. So now we have these pieces here. So let's see how we're going to put this all together. First, we're going to fold this to the back. Oh, you know what? I think I didn't follow my own directions because I should have. So let me just think what we could do. I know why, because we want this side to be out front. I was beginning to think, here I couldn't even follow my own directions. So we're going to do it like this because we want these do have a direction. They go up and down. Can you see that? So we want to be sure that we have that marked right. We're going to take this little 1/2 inch strip here and we're going to add glue. And if you wanted to, again, you could get your wall, because this is going to be all the way to the top and all the way to the edge here. So you want to go all the way to the edge and all the way to the top. There we go. Now we have this piece. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to put some green adhesive on the back. I just left my cutter here because we're going to need the wall again. And I'm going to add this right side up, right along the edge, and pushed all the way to the top. So now we have our inside. And as you can kind of see, I have a, sometimes cutting, you try to be exact as you can, but sometimes you're just off a smidgen. See how I just have this little bit of green down there? So I can go ahead and use my scissors, my snips, to trim that off a little bit. There you go. And you could have just left it. Nobody would have probably ever noticed, but I would know. All right. So now we should have the inside for this one. I used white. On this one I used basic beige just because I thought it went better with the background of the fish. This one I used white. It is 2 inches by 5.5 inches, and it would go in right here. And then again, you can stamp your greeting on the outside. And now we have this, I'm trying to think, it's not pretty in pink, it's petal pink on the outside. And here's our strip. I almost forgot about our strip. I matched the Poppy Parade in the flowers. So this time we have to decide, should we put it on the outside like this? Or should we hide it like we did this one some? I think we're going to try it this time with just putting it on the outside. So I don't have to worry about where I put my glue because I'm going to glue the whole thing down. So I'm going to do it with my wall again because that seems to help. So I'm going to push this up here. I'm going to push this all the way up to the top. And then I'm just going to line it up with the edge. And there we go. I'm not really sure if the Pied Parade looks really good with the petal pink, but it has those same colors in the flowers. See, here's some petal pink with the poppy, so it should be okay. And then this is the inside, like I already said. Now, for the tag, I used the designer tags again, and it has this piece where you can cut out like flowers in the background. So I did that. Then I added a green tag behind it, stamped my happy birthday. It'll go on like this. And then I tied a bow for the top. Now I'll finish this because I forgot to tell you I had some things for the fishing one, but now I don't see my pieces. I had a cork and a lure cut out, but they must have fallen out somewhere while I was moving the card, and I don't know where. All I have left is this spinner that I was going to use as kind of like embellishments for the fishing card. But I will find the cork and things later and put them in there because they have to be somewhere on this desk. So we'll go ahead and finish this card. Maybe I should have used petal pink for my tag. But I kind of like the way it pops on the garden green. Kind of stands out and goes with the color of the leaves. So I have that. And then again, I'm going to use that same package of embellishments that I got. And this time, I'm going to use the white irregular river stones. So we'll put one down here. We'll put one over here. And maybe one, whoops, right in the corner here as the middle of this flower. Might take up the whole flower because it's rather big. Yep, it's going to kind of take up the whole flower. And then if you had this stamp set, you could stamp a flower down here in the corner, or maybe you have another flower or a butterfly and put your greeting on the inside and your little note to the person that you're sending it to. So this is what we have for today, using either a 12 piece of DSP or a 6x6 piece for our DSP. And that's another great way to show off the designer series paper. And they're quick and easy. You could make up like a little kit if it was somebody's birthday and you wanted to make up some cards. This would be a great way to do it. I know this one looks a little lonely here without the cork and the lure that I cut out, but I will find it and I will post a picture of it later when I find it. It must be somewhere here on my desk, but I'm not going to take the time to look. I kind of stacked up some other cards and stuff, so that's probably where it's at. Well, thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And when you get your card made, can you please post it in the comments so that we can see some different ideas on how to use this technique? It's really snowing hard here now. All morning we've been waiting for the snow to start because we're supposed to get like 8 to 10 inches or something like that. And so now it's just kind of started within the last hour, and it's the big fluffy flakes. So it should probably start piling up pretty soon. Have a great afternoon. Keep warm. Bye.